Hi everyone, I thought we would now move through the page in a bit more of a order, starting up here, and just fill in all the details that we haven't yet done. So we're going to start up here and then just work our way through. So let's come in closely. It is quite a simple looking sort of oak, sort of acorns and oak leaves. Let's have a think. I think I will start with the moss green on the leaves and just do a bit of green down here. Now, I'm not trying to make them look realistic. Oak leaves are gorgeous, but I'm just going to do my own thing with them really. I'm going to do each leaf the same, which I always do. And yet, if I observe real trees, I notice very much that then that's not how it works in any way. Often finding that, oops, my pencil's running away, there we go. And I want my pear green. This is really little, you can't see it. It is the pear green. Often noticing that maybe the leaves that are at the bottom of the tree might be a different colour to the ones at the top. And I suspect that's due to the amount of sunlight that they get exposed to. I'm taking that to the end, but I'm really fading it because it's not going to be my final colour. So yeah, it is interesting observing trees, but sometimes you observe real things like clouds are a good example, or sunsets, and you think if I tried to depict that, it wouldn't look real. It would look like I'd made it up. Not that there's anything wrong with making things up and not making them real, but sometimes it just looks too off from reality really. It's quite funny that, you know, reality looks less real than not. I find it funny anyway. Okay, I'm going to grab this burnt ochre to do the very ends of the leaves. I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip, just fade it down a little bit. And we're also going to use this for the acorn itself. And I think it's quite nice to sort of tie the leaves and the nuts together. I assume they're nuts. So I'm going to put a layer of this on here. The bottom part will do darker because they generally are. Now before I finish with this, I'm thinking about where is it going to be darker. I think it's going to be darker. Sorry, it's just where that moved the book. On the bottom here. So I'm just going to darken and take that up a little. Whereas this one will be darker here. It's just that lower part. And then the camel brown, just sort of mix it together really. I wonder if it's the same as the way I coloured the acorn on the owl picture. Not sure. Okay, and then for the sort of base bits I want a much darker brown. So I am just going to go for the cocoa brown. And I'm going to do a light layer all over. But this one has got sort of layers, so I'm actually going to make it a little bit darker here. And sort of lighter towards the top of these bits. Like that. I can try and do a similar thing on this, but it's a slightly different, it's drawn in a slightly different way. But there we go. Now I'm not sure what these three dots are. I'm wondering if they're berries, because there's berries here. So I think I might colour them just as berries, but I can't remember what colour I coloured those. I'm thinking they're probably carmine red. So that's how I'm going to do them. I'm just going to do them. There's not much I can do with them really. I'd like to fade them towards the middle, but we've got that black dot. So I think I'm just going to leave them like that. Oops. Now, I think we'll move down here and do these three trees. Now we could use the same colours as we used for the trees right down at the bottom. But I think we won't. I think we'll use some different colours. So I'm going to use the absinthe green for parts of it. With this tree, I'm going to colour it in the same way though. So darker here and lighter towards the tip. Now these look a bit like pine trees, and this colour I've picked is quite pale for a pine tree. So you may choose to use a darker colour. But I just grabbed one randomly and I really like this colour. But maybe it's not quite right. I don't know. I should just try and get my other colour to work with it really. So that's that part of that tree. This tree I'm going to do the absinthe green on the circles. Now it would be nice to colour them so that they fade towards the middle, but they're so small that I'm just not sure that that's going to work. So I'm just going to colour them quite solidly. This one I'm going to fade up on that bit. I'm going to do that bit fairly solid and then fade that bit up. And I think I'm going to do this as stripes, going darker to lighter, like that. And then we need another green to sort of complement this. I'm thinking that this spring green might work. I'm just going to scribble it on my scrap paper. No. Let's use the matcha green. I think that will work better. I'll just give it a sharpen. There we go. So we have that matcha green, and we'll, I think, a bit darker near the centre of the tree on these sort of stripy bits, and lighter as we go out. It's a bit different to how we did the block bits, but maybe that doesn't matter. Now this one is a bit trickier because we've got the whole tree to do. I'm going to do it quite evenly, I think, because it's quite difficult to get around the circle shapes. So I think doing it evenly is a bit easier, and I'll have a look and see how it looks really, whether I think it works. And there we go. And again with this, I think I'm just going to block out this bit. There we go. And then we just have the tree trunks to do. I think we'll grab the cocoa brown that we used earlier, just because it's right beside me. All the browns, to be honest, the dark browns are quite similar, I always think. There we go. Now we have this snowflake. I'm going to use our periwinkle blue that we've been using for our snow. Now our previous snowflake, we just went around the edge in blue, and I think I'm going to do the same again with this one. So rather than how we've done our snow, which is leaving the edge white, I'm going to leave the centre white on the snowflake. It's just a little bit different, isn't it? All the way around, really simple. Now this, I think that's a snowflake, and this one I'm going to colour it the same as this one, so leaving the edges white. And just colouring in the middle. There we go. Now this is also a snowflake. Let's do dark to light on these bits. And maybe the same on this bit. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm just playing around with the patterns. I think it's all you can do really. Now on this centre one, I think I'm going to do it dark around the edge. And this towards the middle. Quite a light. I think I'm going to make this whole bit here quite light. I would sort of be tempted to leave that border around the edge white, but we're going against a white background, so maybe if I just do a dark line around the edge of it, it might be okay. It might not. It might need me to block it in completely, but we'll see. I think some of it's quite thin. It's getting blocked in, so I think I'm going to have to block in all of it. Or else it will look like I've just forgotten or missed that bit. So let's block that in. There we go. Now I'm looking for other snow while I've got my snow colour in my hand. There's a bit here. I'm going to do this the same as the other similar flakes. So just leaving a white border. And colouring in the middle. Like that. We've got another one here. All I'm going to do is colour those dots. And this now, floral snow, I think snow. So fill in the dots to start with. And then thinking for this bit, maybe we'll do the white edge like we've been doing on the other snowflakes. And then fill the rest of this in gently. And then do the petals. I mean, it looks like a flower, doesn't it? A bit darker in the middle, fading towards the ends. Just a bit in the middle. Can't do much with that really. I think that's all the snowflakes. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there, and I will come back and do some berries next time, I think, which is quite exciting. So where did we start? We started all the way over here, didn't we? So it was sort of berries and trees, and then I sort of got carried away and did lots of snowflakes. So that was sort of where we are at. So we've got a fair bit done here. I sort of rushed through a little bit, I think. But anyway, that's us for today. There might be a couple more, I guess. Maybe, yeah, we'll see. Maybe 2, maybe 3. But thank you for watching today. Hope you have a great day and happy colouring.